Now, you remember the guy, James O'Keefe, who did the famous ACORN video? He gets dressed up as a pimp, and he goes in there and tries to get advice on, how illicit things he should do to hide his money and what he should do with his girls, etc. And a couple of people at that particular ACORN office, give him advice, which they shouldn't have, of course. And they get fired. ACORN does this whole investigation, finds out, no, it turns out there's not an epidemic of pimps coming into ACORN and getting free advice. Okay, so problem solved. And by the way, there was absolutely no legal ramifications for ACORN because they broke no laws. Okay, so now that was investigated through and through, right? Now, some people were saying he recorded them without their permission, which might have broken the law, but they let him slide on that as far as I know, right? So this guy gets empowered, and all the Republicans and the conservatives are like, oh, this guy's a genius. Now that's what you call a journalist, right? Oh, I'm not kidding, man. And all these Republican organizations are touting him. Big Government, which is by Andrew Breitbart, has got him featured on the blog, and everybody's saying what a great, groundbreaking journalist he is in new media, right? So since he gets all worked up about this and gets all excited, decides, I'm going to go on to scam number 2, okay? Except this time, it was a little illegal, okay? This genius gets up with his 3 other friends, Joseph Basil, Stan Dye, and Robert Flanagan, and they decide that they're going to wiretap Senator Mary Landrieu's phones.
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me? How dumb is that, Anna?
Super dumb.
Okay, anybody knows that's a felony, right? I mean, of course, if the Bush administration does it, it's not, right? But you can't go and personally. Now, of course, I think it is, right? But maybe that's what happened. They're like, I don't know, Bush and Cheney did it, and they didn't get busted for it, so maybe we can do it. So these clowns get dressed up in jeans, but fluorescent green vests, tool belts, and hard hats. Like, they're going to trick these people. And then they come in, like they think it's a movie, right? And they come in, they're like, oh, there's something wrong with your phone. We've got to fix it. Okay, and they jiggle up the phone and stuff. Meanwhile, this genius over here, James O'Keefe, is taping it on his cell phone. Like, ha ha, yeah. You're recording an illegal activity, you schmuck. Okay, so, and then they go through all this routine. They tell the staffer this, and we got to do that, and then they get into the closet. Obviously, somebody gets suspicious, calls authorities. Next thing you know, they're all totally arrested.
Awesome.
Yeah, it couldn't be better, right? Turns out, by the way, Robert Flanagan, the son of William Flanagan, the acting U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Louisiana. Oopsie doopsie. Okay, now all those conservatives who were praising James O'Keefe as the brilliant, breathtaking new media journalist are in full backpedal. Michelle, did we support him? Did we? I mean, we're gonna have to look into this, because it's probably a complicated situation, and we'll see how it shakes out. And Ed Morris is like, if it's true, then he's an idiot, okay? And the others are like, well, we didn't sanction it. We didn't sanction it. And then we have a report from Fox News, which is awesome, okay? Now they got to report it, right? It happened, but they're like, so let's check it out and see a couple of hesitations in there.
Some weirdness in New Orleans, too. Tim Gone, what is this?
This is a weird one, Chapman. I apologize for reading over my shoulder because we're just getting information as I want to make sure I know what we have confirmed and what we don't. But
that's a weird press release.
Yeah,
it's weird.
We have the press release. I'm going to read from a local report. It's the ACORN gotcha man. The FBI is alleging that a plot to wiretap Democratic Senator Mary Landrieu's office in downtown New Orleans has arrested 4 people.
A plot to wiretap her?
Yeah, that's apparently what happened. It apparently happened yesterday, but now it's being released. One of the suspects includes this James O'Keefe. You've probably heard of him. A lot of people in the news have heard of him. Our viewers have heard of him. James O'Keefe is a conservative filmmaker whose undercover videos at ACORN field offices severely damaged the advocacy group's credibility. Now, the FBI alleges that O'Keefe aided and abetted 2 others. Wow. These 2 other guys dressed up as employees of the telephone company. They attempted to interfere with the office's telephone system. There's a 4th person who's accused of aiding and abetting these 2 others. All 4 are charged with entering federal property under false pretenses with the intent of committing a felony. A witness from Landrieu's office says O'Keefe is present in the office and claimed to be waiting for someone to arrive. Very weird story that probably needs a lot of context and a lot of looking into, which is what we're going to do here, but I just want to get on the record with it right now.
So they're saying basically they're in there. It sounds as if what they're saying is They're looking for some ACORN hanky-panky, and they try to tap into Mary Landrieu's telephone to get it.
That could be one way of looking at it, yes.
I love that.
We got to look into the context of this, you know. I'm sure they really, really investigated the context of the whole ACORN scandal.
Yeah, his original ACORN video, they were very hesitant about it. They were like, well, we got to look into the context. It's a really weird story. No, they're like, oh, we got him. You know, Chris Wallace of Fox News named O'Keefe his Power Player of the Week back in the day. And then he was called him an undercover reporter, and he's great. All of a sudden, he's busted by the U.S. Marshals. They're like, well, we need a little context. You know, we got to look into it. It's a really weird story. Probably he was doing it for good reasons, you know, to bust ACORN. But you know, the wiretapping is a bit of a problem with the U.S. Marshals.
What I love is how at the beginning they pretended like they didn't really know who he was. Yeah, this guy, you might have heard of him, O'Keefe.
Yeah, you know that guy we called our Power Player of the Week earlier? Not this week, but when he did the ACORN video. Like, yeah, just some guy. Yeah, but us? No, support him? No. Encourage him? No. All right, so that has a fun ending. Except it's not quite done yet. Let's see what kind of trouble he's going to get into. And if he has a trial, that will be awesome. And you know what would be further awesome, by the way? If he used the George Bush defense. If he was like, what? Bush wiretapped everybody. And he never got caught. He never did a damn thing. I mean, they said totally illegal. And you tell me it's illegal, but Bush and Cheney did it, and they never got any punishment for it. And Barack Obama says we should look forward and not backward. That would be an awesome defense. J.R. Jackson.
If convicted, each suspect faces up to 10 years in prison, a fine of up to $250,000, and 3 years of supervised release following any prison term.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, these kids are
according
in a
to
world
the
of
Justice
trouble.
Department.
World of trouble. You know another funny part of the story? He bragged earlier. Oh, my friends say I can't pull off the next one, but you know they say I might get in a lot of trouble, but I'm going to prove them wrong. Oopsie doopsie. No, you proved him right. You didn't pull it off, and you got in a lot of trouble.
Oh, he did. Actually, he did say a couple things as he got out. I guess maybe on bail, like a criminal he is. As he walked out, he said, "Veritas." I think that's how you pronounce it. Latin
Veritas.
Veritas. Latin for truth. And then his other friends didn't say anything. And as he got into the cab outside, he said, "The truth shall set me free."
Oh, come on.
Where your clownish lies is what got you in prison in the first place. God, they're so stupid with the vests and the hard hat. Can you picture the clowns? They're like, oh, yeah, your phone is jammed. Oh, let me take a look at that. Yeah, we're going to have to go ahead and enter your phone closet to jiggle up the wires. They're like, we didn't order this. What do you? And he's like, yeah, go ahead, enter the closet. U.S. Marshals? Can I? Idiots. That's awesome.